You are listening to the On Purpose Podcast. Hey everybody, it's Jerrod Hardy here. If the On Purpose Podcast has sparked something in you, maybe a shift, a question, or a deeper dive, my Excellence in Leadership course is built to help you act upon it. This isn't just about leading others, it's about leading yourself with intention, resilience, and clarity. Whether you're an individual chasing growth or a team ready to level up, I offer custom coaching and speaking engagements to meet you where you are. Visit teamhardy.net and let's grow with purpose. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new year, year 7 of the show. What an honor it's been to show up with you each and every week, every Thursday for 7 years. You've allowed us into your life. You've shared your attention with us. You've given up a little bit of something else you could be doing to sit with us. And for that, we are extremely grateful. And we look forward to what's to come. We look forward to what's going to happen in 2026. This year, we're going to continue offering our tradition, what I consider a tradition, right? Once you got habits, you do for a while, and then you got traditions that are long-term. And I would say 7 years is long-term. So our tradition of storytelling, sharing insights, and offering practical, tactical tips to help all of us remember the good in the world, find the value in our struggles, and realize the strength of our own stories as well. So thank you for being here. I can't wait for year 7 for the momentum to continue. And with that, let's kick off year 2026. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for being here. And I wanted to start the year sharing a strategy that we use in our family to kind of to map out our year, not just in terms of schedules, but in creating a year that we will actually remember. Think about that for a second. Creating a year you'll actually remember. And if I ask you to think back, pick a year, let's say 2020. That's an easy one, right? If you think back on the last few years of your life, let's go start with 2020. If we choose that year, most people can immediately tell you what they were doing and how that year played out because of COVID, right? Quarantines, lockdowns, financial uncertainty for some aspects of our population, unexpected abundance and family time for others. Regardless of what our personal experience was during that time, it's remembered because it was out of the ordinary. It was a major, unexpected event. It's something that realistically broke our routine and etched itself into our memory, right? So when you say 2020, most people can think right off the top of their heads what they were doing in 2020, what was going on. But if I throw out another year, so say pick another year out of the last 10, how many of them would actually blur together? How many of them would you think back and go, man, I don't know what happened. Honestly, I don't remember that year. Because it wasn't the year one of our children were born. It wasn't the year a loved one passed away. We moved across the country or started a new job. It was a year that we did the things we were supposed to do. We followed our routine. We were doing the things, but there was really no event or moment that created the memory. That was something different that allows us to recognize that year for what it was. And for Andrea and I, that's how we came up with what we call our Big Rock strategy, right? Our Big Rock strategy. And that is every New Year's Eve, most of the month of December, we're thinking about it individually and together. But on New Year's Eve, we sit down, part of our tradition, and map out our vision for the upcoming year. We sit down and we talk about what do we want from our businesses? What do we want from each other? What do we want to learn? What do we want to share? What do we want to achieve? And at the center of that vision mapping is what we call our one big rock. It's going to be one defining event that everything else gets scheduled around, right? It's the one non-negotiable. No business meetings, no new classes. Nothing can pull us away from the rock once we agree and set it on the map. So last year, our big rock was an October trip to Zion National Park to celebrate our oldest daughter's 30th birthday. So we set that and we knew, okay, no matter what comes up, business, travel, social plan, family needs. Nothing could pull us away from this week in southern Utah with family and our oldest daughter to celebrate her 30th birthday. So now if you ask me, okay, 2025, what was that year known for? Fairly quickly I can tell you, that was the year our daughter turned 30, and we went to Zion National Park, a place none of us had ever been before. We created memories. We had hikes. We did small things that are easy to get lost in the course of a year, but they're memorable when it's part of your big rock, when it's an event. It's beyond what we normally do. And that's the memory that rises to the top. So let me ask you this. What do you think, take a minute, what do you think would be the big rock for you and your family in 2026? What's that big thing you're going to do, experience, share, that will allow you to remember the year? For us, ours is already set, and it's a big one. I'm excited for it. It's a challenge. It's something I've been looking forward to. Last year, you kind of heard us talking about this towards the last few episodes at the end of the year, but our big rock for 2026 is our son Trey and I are going to take on our first 100-mile ultra marathon. That's right, running, hiking, an ultra marathon in Butte, Montana in June. It's called the Copper Kings 100. We're going to climb, I'd have to look at the data, but it's like 14,000 feet or something like that, elevation gain. We're going to spend like 64 miles on the Continental Divide Trail. It's something neither of us have done, but it's intriguing to us because it's a physical challenge. It's a mental challenge. It's a spiritual challenge. And it's time that we get to spend together, uninterrupted, pushing ourselves. No doubt at some point, one or both of us will probably want to quit. We'll think there's no way we can do it, and the other's going to be the strength. And that's something that I greatly value, is those moments with our family, with our kids, with people in my community where we get to push and test ourselves beyond what's normal. And it's a bonus that it's in Butte, Montana, right? A place that I was born in. Trey was actually born in. Our oldest daughter, Drianna, was born there. And it means we have a lot of family in that area, especially my mom and my sister can come in for that. So it means that our big rock, while it's important to us and it sets our calendar which we work around, we also get to share it. We get to include family members that maybe have no desire to do 30 hours of trail running and hiking, but they want to be there at the start and the finish line to celebrate with you. And that's one of the small hidden facts. When you create a big rock in your calendar and you share it, you can build community around it. And suddenly maybe the big rock for you is also the memory that somebody else is going to take away from that year, or that they at least get to be part of. So for us, for our family, that last weekend in June, we've cleared out. We know Trey and I are going to be out there. Our goal is 30 hours or less to accomplish a 100-mile trail run, and nothing else can impact those couple weeks around there, right? So the rest of our calendars are going to be built around that event. And then individually for me, the months leading up to it, I need to structure my days to allow the proper training and preparation so that I show up ready to compete. So for us, right, and then Andrea will have our big rocks, and then she's going to have some other rocks in her calendar too that I need to support, right? Because sharing our big rocks as a couple helps us operate as a team. It keeps us on the same page. It allows us to know, okay, Jerrod's really focused in on running and hiking these weeks, so she's going to pick up the slack somewhere else. And then when that's done, I'll look and say, oh, that's right, she has this big event she wanted to go to, so now it's my turn to maybe pick up the things that she normally does but she doesn't have time for. It allows us to realize that if we're time away, it's sacrificing for the greater good, for what we said we want to achieve in the year. So instead of feeling upset that they're busy, maybe discouraged that you don't get as much time, you realize we're trading off time for purpose, right? And the challenge. And we each get to do it. And I think that's a huge part of why our marriage has lasted and why we've known each other since we were kids, basically, is that we're allowed to have our individual challenges, but when we also come together as a team to support one another. And without having clarity on that, without having it in the calendar where you can look at it, it's easy to grow apart. right? It's easy to take your own path. So our big rock not only sets the calendar for the year, but it helps keep Andrea and I on the same page. It helps me understand what are her goals, what are her dreams, what is she working hard for in 2026? How do I support that? And then vice versa. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to hear from you. What's your big rock for 2026? What are you going to commit to as an individual, as a family, as a partnership? What do you hope to accomplish, experience, or simply make space for in your life? Something you want to take up, maybe a new hobby, playing a ukulele, taking up running, getting more fitness, whatever it is you want to do. What is it, your big rock? What's going to anchor you, right? Because that's the other thing it does, it helps hold you accountable, right? When I know that big rock's on my calendar in June and I don't want to go for a run in January, I can look and go, okay, if I put off this run today, what's the cost in June? If I don't want to eat properly, what's the cost in June? So there's that accountability piece. And I think that's the kind of what separates having a big rock in your calendar, a big event that makes you remember the year, from a lot of other traditional New Year's Eve strategies, the resolutions, the diet plans, a lot of the other stuff that's hard to commit to. It's hard to stay on task, and unfortunately, a lot of people fall off a couple weeks into the year. When I put it on my calendar and it's an event, it holds me accountable. It helps Andrea hold me accountable. It helps us to know, okay, we're moving towards this, and what did we do today to make it more possible, more realistic, more enjoyable, right? So thank you for being here. Thank you for kicking off 2026 with us, year 7 of the On Purpose podcast. I'm excited for the year. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what you accomplish. And I just ask you this, if today's message sparked something in you, you start thinking, man, I like that big rock idea, pass it along to a friend or a family member. And then don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, follow the podcast on your favorite app. Your support helps our community grow with intention, purpose, and reaches more people around the world that maybe didn't even know they needed it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of our community. Let's have a great year. Let's set the big rock. I'd love to hear what you're accomplishing, what you're going to shoot for. And remember, life's too short to live without purpose, my friends. Have a great week. Looking for the perfect escape? Step off the grid and into the wild heart of Old Florida at the Hideaway, a nature-based family campground tucked along the legendary Suwannee River just an hour west of Gainesville. Whether you roll in with an RV or pitch a tent beneath the canopy, the Hideaway offers 1,500 feet of boardwalk through untouched hammock, riverside trails to secret picnic spots, fishing holes, local springs, and a kind of peace that lingers long after you leave. Reconnect, recharge, remember what matters. Visit thehideawayfl.com to plan your stay. And remember, team, life is far too short to live any other way than on purpose. We will see you all again next week.